All right, we'll open our March 18th, 2019 Board of County Commissioners meeting, and we, as usual, we'll begin with our invocation. And Vice Chairman Dennis Ray, if you'll lead us, please.
If you would bow your heads with me, if you please. Our most gracious Father, we ask that you put your hands on us tonight so that we may make the decisions before us with wisdom. We ask that you put your shield of protection over our law enforcement, our EMS, our firemen, and all other agencies involved with the safety and well-being of this county. We thank you so much for all that you provide for us, and we pray that we will have the wisdom to use it in a way that you would consider good. Amen. Let's stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Each month we have the opportunity to recognize our service award recipients, and with 5 years the following: Melanie Powell with Human Services, Cheryl Ross with Human Services, DeJour Hayes with Human Services, Nicholas Kirkley with the Sheriff's Office, Matthew Price with the Sheriff's Office, Jennifer Dawkins with Tax Administration, and Denise Estridge for the Tax Administration. With 10 years, we have Tracy Tripodi with the Public Library, and 15 years, we have Jeremy Presley with the Sheriff's Office, and then we have 20 years. 20 years, we have Josh Brooks with Public Works, and Tony Helms with Public Works for 20 years. February, also, we had some retirements. We had Karen Dees with Public Health with 17 years. We want to express our appreciation for the years of service that they provided to Union County. Next item, we have a public hearing on the renaming of the portion of Gold Mine Road, and we'll open that public hearing. And I think, Bjorn, are you going to help us with this, please?
Just have a little bit of background information in anticipation of any public comments. You able to see it on your screens? Okay. So this is a request in coordination with the City of Monroe to rename this portion of Gold Mine Road shown here between Corporate Center and Airport Road. This was realigned about a decade ago, and this section has never been renamed. It's being requested to rename to Propel Way. We're really only affecting these two parcels. The rest of this would be in coordination with the City of Monroe. Only one of these parcels is actually occupied, so it would be readdressed. That's what it looks like in the vicinity. You can see where the road was eliminated due to the runway extension, and then the other direction. So it's not a high volume section of road. Thankfully, we have not had any issues with EMS, but this has been coordinated with them. The addressing, the road name is eligible, and the request is for Propel Way.
Okay. We have no one signed up to speak in the public hearing for the renaming of the road. With that, we will close the public hearing. Next item, we have a public hearing to consider a Step 4 Economic Development Incentive grant in the amount not to exceed $5,390,000 over a 7-year period for a confidential company known as Project Albert. Chris, thank you, sir. We'll open that public hearing.
Okay. Chairman Helms, Commissioner, Manager Watson, it's my pleasure to be here before you tonight. As you can tell, I've been hanging out with you because I've got the same sounding voice. Wanted to bring, but not before you tonight, Project Albert, which is now known as, or is formerly known, is that project name is ATI Specialty Materials. ATI has been in Union County since 1957 and is currently located in multiple locations within our county, and they employ nearly 1,500 full-time employees. The company's operation includes R&D, superalloys, and titanium production, as they serve as a Tier 1 supplier to the aerospace clientele throughout the world. The company is considering a $140 million investment in a new facility that will enable them to increase their capacity and continue to serve aerospace customers. The project could include the construction of up to a new facility up to 200,000 square feet just south of their Bakers campus. The construction is targeted to start sometime in 2019. A minimum of 10 jobs would be created with this project, paying approximately $28.50 per hour. The company has indicated that incentives are a very important factor for this project, and the project is in competition with other corporate locations throughout their global footprint. I must state that if ATI selects Union County as the home of this project, it will not only be the second largest capital investment for an economic development project tied with O'Neill Digital Systems, but it will take our community to over $1 billion in aerospace investments since we started the initiative in 2002. So given the presented information, tonight we are requesting for your consideration a Step 4 Economic Development Incentive Grant in the amount of $5,390,000 to be paid over a 7-year period beginning in fiscal year 2022, based upon the Union County's tax office's appraised value each year and the company's anticipated investment of $140 million in new building and equipment. Based on the investment and holding all factors constant, including depreciation, the company would pay an estimated ad valorem tax on this investment of $7,162,820. The actual tax revenue to the county will be based on the current tax rate at the time it's applied to the assessed value at the time it's assessed for that investment of each year after depreciation. The cost-benefit analysis, as we run for every one of our projects for this project, runs 1.59 to 1, $1.59 for every dollar invested in the investment of return over the 7 years of the grant period, and jumps to an enormous $35.38 to 1 over the return of the life of the project. This project was presented to the Monroe-Union County Economic Development Board of Advisors at their regular meeting on February 12th and was unanimously recommended to bring before you tonight for consideration. Therefore, the Board of Advisors and staff recommend an award of a Step 4 performance-based incentive grant to ATI in the amount not to exceed $5,390,000 in order to help secure this $140 million investment for our county. Staff also requests that the county commissioners grant the manager the authority to sign all associated legal documents, including the incentive agreement, following legal review. At this time, I'd like to also recognize Mr. Scott Vallandingham of ATI if you have any questions about the project.
Any questions for either?
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir, for considering our county. We have no one signed up to speak. Is there anyone that failed to sign up that would like to speak? If not, I'll close the public hearing. We'll close the public hearing, okay? Next item, have a public hearing to consider the sale of 124.87 acres located within the new Union County Industrial Park along Gold Mine Road to a confidential company known as Project Albert for the new industrial. You're at it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Chairman, Commissioners, Manager Watson, it is my pleasure again to bring before you tonight this request to purchase land for the purpose of economic development. Again, as we mentioned, Project Albert is ATI Specialty Materials, and I do apologize, some of this information is repetitive to the previous public hearing. But the ATI has been here in Union County since '57 with multiple locations. The company, again, is a Tier 1 supplier to the aerospace clientele and other businesses throughout the world. They're considering the $140 million project that would include the construction of a 200,000 square foot facility, creation of 10 new jobs, paying approximately $28.50. The project is in competition with other corporate locations throughout their global footprint, where in some cases those company locations have already existing land capable of handling this project. So the company does not have adequate land at their current Union County locations to accommodate the project, and they are seeking to acquire a portion of the land that we have just secured for the First County Industrial Park for their potential new home of this facility. ATI is requesting the purchase of 124.87 acres, a portion of parcel 093720003C, C as in Charlie, for a total purchase price of $6,555,675, or $52,500 per acre. That's subject to all easements, right-of-ways, and other restrictions as listed in your abstract and public notice. The county purchased this land for the purpose of economic development, and this project is in concert with that purpose to create a greater commercial tax base and sustainable job creation for our citizens. The county is selling the land pursuant to private negotiations between my office and ATI as permitted under North Carolina General Statute 158-7.1. Finally, the land sale was presented to the Board of Advisors for Economic Development at their February 12th meeting, where they again unanimously recommended in favor of the sale of the property to ATI. Therefore, meeting all the necessary conditions under North Carolina General Statute 158-7.1 for the conveyance of real property for economic development, the Monroe Economic Development Board of Advisors and staff recommend the sale of 124.87 acres of land to ATI to help support this economic development project in an amount of $6,555,675. Staff also requests that the Board of County Commissioners grant Manager Watson the authority to sign all associated legal documents, including the contract of sale, subject to legal review. Again, Scott is here to address any questions for you regarding this project for ATI.
Okay, thank you. We have no one that signed up to speak at the public hearing. If there's someone that failed to sign up to speak, if not, we'll close. Therefore, we'll close. Loretta, it has to be on this?
I just have a question. Loretta Melanson, 2923 Meadow Creek Lane here in Monroe. How many acres is in that the entire industrial park that the county wants to develop?
329?
335.
Huh?
335.
335?
Oh, okay, so this is about a third of that.
Yes, it is.
I have not really looked into anything more than what I've heard tonight, but I give it a go vote.
Thank you, ma'am.
It just sounds like something that would really be a win-win situation for both the company and Union County.
Well, thank you, ma'am. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
I apologize, Commissioners. One correction. The company name that the agreement will be with is TDY Industries.
Okay.
So it's an older name that has remained with the properties that they currently have.
Okay.
So both the incentive and the land sale.
Okay. Therefore, we'll close the public hearing. Thank you. Next, we have informal comments. We have Mike Como.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Commissioners. There's nothing on the agenda tonight specifically for Wesley Chapel, but I came tonight to thank you for allowing me to attend the retreat, Cane Creek Park. A lot of good information came out of that retreat. The part that I was not able to attend in person, I did watch online. Thank you for whoever made the decision to have that on the internet as well. It helped a lot of people out that couldn't make it out. I'm hoping that the commissioners all received the same information that I did, or came to the same conclusion that I did after attending the retreat, which was that we have a very delicate infrastructure in Union County. We are either approaching capacity or in some cases at capacity for water and sewer. And hitting the stop button isn't an option as far as development. We definitely want Union County to continue to grow. But the question is, do we really want to hit the turbo button at the same time to increase our capacity problems with high-density housing, things of that nature? So I also wanted to thank Commissioner Simpson specifically for when we I was here at the podium about a month ago. You said something specifically about the master plan and the land use plan, and that it should be followed, and I agree with that. If we're not going to follow and use the master plan, why have it? So I hope you all continue to follow Commissioner Simpson's lead and follow the rules and regulations that you've set forward yourselves. Thank you.
Thank you. Bill, I'm having trouble reading your last name. Nicolai. Okay, thank you, sir.
I'll be brief. I just been here before, but I was, I guess, the same man that was here before me here, just speaking, concerned about, I've been in Union County for, well, 10 years at the place I'm currently at, 5906 Poplin, actually 5906 Bonterra Village Way now since the road's been put in. But I have concern about the apartments coming across our property as from across the street there, just being that much of a cluster compared to what else is around the area. I'm not opposed to development, but I just think, you know that doesn't fit into the scheme of things for that area.
Thank you, sir. And that's all we have. We'll close our informal comments. Next, we have our additions, deletions, and/or adoptions of the agenda. Are there any?
Motion to approve.
Okay, we have a motion to approve. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Okay. Next item is our consent agenda.
Motion to approve consent.
Okay, have a motion to approve. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Okay. Next, we move forward to item 24, which is the CZ 2018-009 Poplin Road Mixed Residential. Lee, I think you're going to help us on that.
I'll pull up a copy of the most recent site plan, just for everybody's information. Board held a public hearing at its last meeting and heard a presentation from the applicant as well as some concerns from some nearby residences that were in opposition to the project. And I will briefly, just one more time, kind of go over the site plan. The site plan would be incorporated as a condition into the application. You have this area, this is where the apartments will be, 264 units of apartments, and you have the townhome section here, 60 townhomes, and then 70 single-family lots in this area. And then the specific conditions on the site, it will be zoned, if it's approved, it would be R4 conditional district, total of 394 units, 6.7 units per acre. And then you have some dimensional standards, the number of townhomes that I went over, single-family lots, number of apartment units. Excuse me. Your setbacks are 20 feet on the front, 25 in the rear, 10 on the side. They did agree to install a 5-foot tall black metal fence along an adjacent property, and that property, I'm sorry, pull this back up. That fence would be along this property line here to kind of prevent people from walking over to the adjacent property. They removed the walking trail, so they wanted to put that in as a condition, and this in the same location. So there was a walking trail that would have come back through here. The residents behind it didn't want that walking trail, so they agreed to remove it and went ahead and put that as a specific condition. And that all proposed street lights, flood, security lighting will be cut off fixtures at a minimum. One of the parcels behind it, again, in that same area where I was outlining where the fence was a while ago, provided with a 6-inch sewer lateral for use by that property. Key one right here is number 5, that the development will be subject to the requirements of the Indian Trail Town of Indian Trail post-construction stormwater ordinance. That was one of the key components of our secret shortcut small area plan, was that a lot of these developments would utilize the higher standards that Indian Trail had. There will be internal sidewalks on both sides of the streets. In the development, there will also be sidewalks along Popland Road and Bonterra Village Way. All the internal roads for the townhome and single-family portions will be built and conform to the NCDOT minimum road standards. And the internal roads for the multifamily will be private because the multifamily is the apartments. That's because DOT will not maintain those. Excuse me. The apartments will be 24-unit buildings, consisting of some will be 1, 2, and 3 bedroom units. And you can see here they've restricted their exterior materials to stone, brick, and with hardy board siding. Townhome conditions, minimum size of 1,400 square feet. And some of the exterior materials used could be vinyl, could be used for siding, and panel back battens and shakes. It can have brick accents, stone accents, decorative columns, metal gutters, aluminum fascias, architectural shingles. And in single family, much of this is the same as far as the materials. The main difference is the minimum square footage would be 1,600 square feet. And the developer's in the audience, and while he's here, I just want to get him to acknowledge that he's okay with these conditions since they have to agree to those. The developer?
And we do agree with those.
Okay. Yes, sir.
One clarification.
Yes, sir.
On the setbacks, are those specifically for the single-family
Yes,
lots?
yes, yes, I'm sorry, that is specifically for the single-family lots.
Okay.
And if anybody has any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Any questions? Commissioner Simpson?
Yeah, one quick one. We've talked in the past, I think we've already been engaged in some small area studies.
Yes, sir,
Was this area a part of that?
it is.
Okay.
I can pull that map up. So this is the secret shortcut road, secret shortcut small area plan. You can see this area in the hatched is designated as mixed use, but also high density residential. And the highlighted parcels are where the project is located. The apartments are in this area, which is designated as high density residential. The townhomes are in this area, which is kind of a mix of medium and high density. And then the single families are more back here in this medium density area. So it is consistent with the adopted small area plan. Yes, sir.
A question I have is the statement about 1, 2, and 3 bedroom apartments. Is 3 bedrooms is probably where I have a concern. And it also doesn't identify we're going to have 90% 3 bedroom, you know, that I'd like a little more clarification there.
Okay, that'd probably be something that the applicant would need to provide clarification on.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, Mike Scott. In regards to the 3 bedrooms, we've never had more than 25%. In this case, we're willing to go down to 10 or 15%. If the commissioners don't want any, we're okay with having 0. So I'm leaving it in your hands, but we're fine with a very limited amount of 3 bedrooms.
You can make it work with no 3 bedrooms.
We could, yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Answers my, any other questions? Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Do we have a motion? No 3 bedroom is, do we need to have a vote on no 3 bedrooms?
I would say if there's a motion
motion, okay. All right. Commissioner Rushing?
The concern that I have is the same concern I had back when we had the public hearing on this, where we were talking about the lack of utilities there that could be there and the competing projects already approved by Indian Trail. I think there's some desire by Indian Trail to control what goes on this property, so I have no problem with letting them decide that in the future. So, you know, if you're looking for a motion, and it seems like we're having trouble getting one, I'll make a motion to deny the rezoning petition to the rezoning property appearing on tax maps 07024013, 07024013A, 07024012, 07024015A, 07024015, and 07021015A in the Vance Township from RA40 to R4CZ, and adopt the consistency statement for denial.
Okay, any discussion? Commissioner Simpson?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a couple of points I want to make. And I appreciate all the kudos I've received here the last couple of weeks about making a statement about our master plan. Appreciate that. I want to take issue with the idea that we are out of water and sewer. I've been here since 2010, and this administrative staff and our Public Works Department and this Board of County Commissioners have worked long and hard, our legal staff as well, long and hard on expanding 12 Mile, on adding improvements to the Poplar Road Station, on securing a Yadkin water supply, to take us and expanding our Catawba River plant. We're not looking at 2020, we're looking at 2050. So to say that we've been driving in development and not making plans for growth in this county is simply not correct. I'm proud of the work that the staff has done and the accomplishments that we made in just a short period of time. So we have a county that has the ability to grow. Having said that, another great, I mean, you're experiencing it tonight. Chris Platte said, largest, tied for the largest economic development project. And we all know the situation that we find ourselves in Union County. Too much residential, not enough commercial industrial. Now, this one project, although it'll make a big lick, it won't take us probably to where we need to be in terms of more commercial and industrial. That's a long way out. The small area plans are great. For me, it's probably a good project, but just not the right time. So I'll be voting in favor of the motion.
Okay, any other? All in favor of the motion to deny as stated? Say aye.
Aye.
Okay. All opposed? Okay. Next item is 25, under new business. It's an ordinance to rename the portion of Poplin, portion of Gold Mine Road. And do we have a motion to adopt
Motion to
the
adopt
ordinance
the
to
ordinance.
rename? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Number 26, the Step 4 Economic Development Incentive Grant in the amount not to exceed $5,350,000 $90,000 over a 7-year period, for a project known as Albert.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve a Step 4 Economic Development Incentive Grant for TDY Industries, known as Project Albert. Authorize county manager to approve an incentive grant agreement with TDY Industries in an amount not to exceed $5,390,000 over a 7-year period beginning in FY 2022, pending legal review.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? None. Okay. Thank you, sir. Okay. Next, we want to consider the sale of 124.87 acres located within the new Union County Industrial Park along Gold Mine Road to Project Albert for a new industrial facility.
Mr. Chairman, I move to authorize conveyance of a fee simple interest in approximately 124.87 acres of certain property, Union County tax parcel 093720003C, subject to all easements, rights of ways, and other restrictions of record, as well as a 30-foot right-of-way to TDY Industries Project Albert in exchange for $6,555,657 in cash. Find that the fair market value of the interest to be conveyed is $6,555,657,000. Find that the sale of such land to TDY Industries Project Albert will stimulate the local economy, promote business, and result in the creation of at least 10 new jobs with a probable average hourly wage of $28.50 to be paid to workers on the property, and authorize the county manager to execute all documents necessary to effectuate such sale pending legal review.
Okay. Any further discussion? Commissioner Rushing.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to thank ATI for all they do for this county and the taxpayers here. You know, we have a lot of your, we interact with a lot of your employees, and we just want to, again, thank you for what you do and what you have done for this county and the families in this county.
With that, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Item 28, the Board of Equalization and Review appointments to the board and appointment of a chair for 2019. Background: the terms of William Randall, Randy Adcock, and Raymond Brooks on the Board of Equalization and Review expired in February 2019. Both Mr. Adcock and Mr. Brooks have applied for reappointment to that board. In accordance with NCGS 105-322A, the Board of Equalization and Review shall be composed of members of the Board of County Commissioners or their designees. By resolution, Union County operates with a separately appointed Board of Equalization and Review, requiring a chairman to be appointed each annual appeal period. The recommendation for Mark Ashcroft to be appointed as the chairman of the Board of Equalization and Review for 2019 appeal period. Mr. Ashcroft is in the final year of his third term on the board and has the support of his fellow board members for this. I'd like to make a motion to consider reappointment of William Randall, Randy Aycock, and Raymond Brooks to the Board of Equalization and Review, and appoint Mark Ashcraft as recommended as the 2019 Board of Equalization and Review Chairman. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Next, can you make comments tonight? He lost his voice, so it's kind of hard for him to talk.
Keep it short.
Too much talking. I do have a document the clerk will be passing around to you. So, Commissioners, this is a follow-up to the Union County Employee Survey. This is as I said, is a follow-up based on some of the areas of opportunity that presented themselves in the survey. The summary is self-explanatory. This is for information only at this time. It'll give you an idea of some of the progress that we've already made since we took the 2018 employee survey. This will be a benchmark survey that will be recompleted in what, 12 months? Approximately 12 months. But there's some good information in here. It's for your information only at this time. And I did have a good time dancing in the clover. But that's about all I can say about it right now. Thank you very much.
Okay. Commissioner Agnes.
I just want to thank ATI as well for your commitment to Union County and all you do here. We do appreciate good commercial partners like yourselves. So with that, I wish everyone a good evening.
Commissioner Rushing?
No comment.
Commissioner Simpson?
No further comments.
Commissioner Rake?
No comment.
I'll make no comments, but I will make a motion that we remove the closed session that we had scheduled. A motion to remove that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Then a motion to adjourn.
Aye.
I thought somebody else was taking charge of that. Reconvene right quick.
You want to
I've got to see this.
We're going to show a movie.
Got to see the chairman in action. He wouldn't talk about it. You got to see it. The manager, sorry.
I thought, hell, scared me. I didn't know what he had filmed.
Mark's music was from the Titanic, and you just saw it sinking.
Thank you for that.
That was worth waiting for, wasn't it?